Do you put your children to write suicide notes? You don't? Why not? If you're a teacher, you should definitely try it out, as it's a new progressive way of norm critics in a renowned manual or something like that. Let's explore. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Freedom Alternative. What is your first thought when you hear about one 13-year-old writing a suicide note? If you thought anything besides that maybe it's a school assignment, then you're clearly behind the times and an unprogressive dinosaur who hasn't yet come into the progressive future of the 21st century, not to mention that you're likely a bigot with backwards beliefs such as accountability for teachers, parents' rights, and so on. Here, let's hear the progressive wisdom from Sweden. Quote, Swedish pupils told to pen suicide note. Moms and dads in Skellefteå in northern Sweden were shocked when a number of children came home from school to report that they had been told to write their own suicide notes in class as part of a wider assignment on mental health. We are several parents who became very upset when we heard about this, one parent told Swedish broadcaster SVT on Wednesday. I am completely aghast, said another. What a bunch of unprogressive bigots. Come on, stop resisting, come into the 21st century. Yeah, sure, your white kid may commit suicide, but so what? The future is multicultural anyway. Quote, the pupils said that they had been listening to an audiobook in class about a girl who wanted to end her life. Afterwards, they claimed they were told to write a letter to the mother in the story explaining that the suicidal thoughts were not her fault. According to parents, the teens were encouraged to think about their own mothers if they struggled with the assignment. But school bosses in Skellefteå put the controversy down to a misunderstanding. It's an existing assignment in a renowned textbook that the teacher has used, the Council Children and Education head Jan Söderström told the national broadcaster. Here, you see, it's a renowned textbook. Nothing to worry about. The state has approved it and it's renowned, so the debate is over. There is no danger. Stop with that nonsense about you're worried and whatnot. Come on. Quote, it is very sad that it is being perceived this way, he added, and said that the school, which has not been named in the Swedish media, would be sending a letter to all parents explaining the assignment. Yeah, we'll send you a letter to explain to you simpletons how the 21st century works and perhaps talk some of you out of the bigoted belief that you as parents have rights over your children's education or curricula. You don't, you backward bigots. No, you backward dinosaurs. The experts have reached a consensus and decide that it is okay to put your kid to write his own suicide note. And don't you dare disagree or attempt to pull your kid from school or attempt homeschooling. That's a massive no-no. What are you, some right-wing Nazi bigot who thinks he has rights? Why so much hate? Embrace the progress. You'll thank us later when there will be no more quibbles about moral frameworks in our progressive utopia. Okay, I can't fake progressive talk for too long. Now, in all seriousness, what the fuck is this degeneracy? I mean, aside from the fact that there is ample evidence that suicide ideation does in fact lead to copycat suicide, which in plain English means that suicide ideation kills real people, there is also the fact that suicide is the most common cause of death for Swedish people aged 15 to 24, and that's true for both sexes. There's also another fact. 13-year-olds, especially 13-year-old boys, are at a particularly unstable stage of life from a mental health perspective. So given these realities, one doesn't need a PhD in psychology or psychiatry to realize that putting 13-year-olds to write their suicide notes is a completely messed up idea. But you see, common sense has been thrown out on the window for quite some time in many areas of the Swedish society, and education is one such area. What's even more serious than the fact that this outrage has taken place is the response by the school. Instead of sanctioning the teacher, apologizing to the parents and pupils, and perhaps even attempting to remedy the situation by offering some sort of suicide prevention coaching, they just shrug it off as if the parents are the ones who are wrong for being outraged about this. What? Also, let's not forget the Swedish context here. Some of these 13-year-olds may have already been taught that there is no such thing as men and women, and we are not he or she, but hen. Some of them have also been taught that they're essentially dirty and they need to apologize for existing because they're white. And the natural add just the natural confusion that emerges with the onset of puberty into the mix, and suddenly this exercise looks more and more like a recipe to make them commit suicide. Now, I really hope that all of the kids there will be fine mentally and physically, but I also think that this wider Swedish society should be more vocal about these things. Seriously, if you're a Swede watching this and have a kid in school, take a closer look at what exercises your son or daughter is going through. You may have some surprises. Gosh, Jesus Christ, putting 13-year-olds to write their suicide notes. Now, that's all I had to say. Fuck, this topic is so insane. Thanks for watching.